Good morning everybody and welcome to the first English lesson we have, where we're going to start exploring the character of Grendel and how different authors all around the world have written about Grendel and the language that they use to describe him, all around our book Beowulf. So the first activity I'd like you to do, now in school we would normally do this as pairs, but there's no reason you can't do it on your own now. I have given you two documents which you'll be able to find on the on the lesson. One that is Grendel Extracts by Michael Morpurgo and one that is Grendel Extracts by Anthony Horowitz. And what I would like you to do is just to look through the two documents, read the extracts. They're pulled out from the story, so that they don't all necessarily flow together, but look at the extracts, have a read through. What do you notice about them? What type of character do you think Grendel is? Were your predictions correct? And start thinking about the language that is used to describe Grendel. So this would be a really great time to pause the video, go and open those two Word documents and have a look at the different descriptions of Grendel. I would say it will probably take you about 5-10 minutes to read through both sets of extracts and then you'll be ready for the next task. Okay, so now you've got an idea of what type of character Grendel is and how the different authors have described Grendel. I want you to go back to those extracts again and start highlighting any description that has been used to describe Grendel to create a word bank, because inevitably we are going to end up creating character descriptions about Grendel, so we need to know how to describe him. So go back to both documents. You can see at the top here I have done an example for you. There's one extract and I have highlighted the word stalked an enemy from hell itself, sworn enemy to God, a beast born of evil and shame, because they are parts of the sentence that describe Grendel, either his character, how he walks, how he moves, how he appears. Okay, once you've done that, what type of picture is created of Grendel, and do you think he's going to be a nice person? I would argue a beast born of evil and shame probably isn't going to be somebody I want to become a friend with. So you can pause the video again here, go and do that activity. That should probably take you about 10 minutes as well. By now, you should have highlighted all those different bits of description in the extracts. At this stage, it would be really good, if you can and you have some paper at home, to create a word bank of your favourite vocabulary or the key vocabulary that you think will be really helpful to you onto a piece of paper so you can use next week and the week after in your writing. I've put an example below of what I have done to show the different vocabulary I found in each extract, but if you just want to jot down the words similar to how we do on our word wall at school, you can, or if you just want to make a list of them too, that is fine. It just needs to be a bank of words that you can use next week for your writing. Pause now and you'll be able to spend a couple of minutes completing that now. So before you go on to your last task, which will be the task that you would have completed in the main lesson at school, I just want you to spend a little bit of time thinking about the different portrayals of Grendel that you've seen. Which one did you enjoy the most, for example? Which one created the best picture in your mind? And then I want you to have a look at the similarities and differences between the two authors and how they describe Grendel. The biggest similarity you have is that they both described Grendel as an evil character. There is no way that you could tell me that Michael Morpurgo described Grendel as a loving, caring character and Anthony Horowitz described it as an evil character. In both extracts, he was evil. I also want you to have a think, because in one extract, in the Anthony Horowitz extract, Grendel was described as it. It did this, it knew, its claws tightened, it found itself grasped. However, in the Michael Morpurgo story, Michael Morpurgo used the pronoun, he to describe the character. He heard that wondrous story of God. And because it was good, it was hateful to his ears. How did that change the portrayal in his head? For me, when I hear he, I think of a person. I think of Grendel as a person, maybe an evil person, but a person all the same. But in the Anthony Horowitz descriptions, when he used the word it, I saw Grendel as a thing, an object, a monster that didn't have human feeling. So have a think about that as well, because that would be something really useful that you can use in your final activity. If you want to go have a little think about that now, this would be a great place to pause. So finally, for your last activity, the activity that you would have done independently at school, I want you to keep thinking about those different descriptions. The first thing you're going to do is you are going to think about the similarities and differences between the two descriptions. I put some examples on the slide for you to see. So, for example, they described Grendel as a brutal monster. He described what he looks like, how he moves. But the difference, I used the difference between using he and it as my differences. So you can have a think what you think the similarities and differences are about the two descriptions. And then there are two boxes underneath. One of them for you to list some of your favourite language about Grendel. Maybe just picking your 3-4 favourite descriptive devices. And finally, I would love to know which version of Grendel is your favourite and why it was your favourite. Hopefully this all makes sense. If you have any questions, pop them into the chat box on Teams like you've been doing through the week, and I'm looking really forward to seeing what you think about Grendel and his character.